Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
All right, you freaks and freakettes, it's time to get this thing rolling. Welcome to another week of Student of the Gun Radio. You're welcome. I'm glad you're here. You should be glad to be here. And we've got a lot of fun and frivolity for you. There are some things that are going to raise my blood pressure, but that just can't be helped. And, brothers and sisters, why do I keep... I don't know, Jared. I really don't. Why do I have to keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? Why are American humans such slow learners? Should I even bother? It's like this the Cheyenne cop that ND'd his pistol because he was carrying it with a Techniclip. If you guys didn't hear that, it was in the grad program on Thursday last.
And you should get in there.
Yeah, Cheyenne, Wyoming police officer was at a Little League baseball tournament and ND's his pistol into the bleachers, like it scraped his leg, scratched his leg, and went into the bleachers. And he was carrying it with a Techniclip. We've been saying, how long, Jared, when did we quote I know you're not going to remember, but said no more naked guns. How long have I been saying no more naked guns? Or
I think that was a video that you did for Morning Mindset was the first time.
Yeah, no more. I mean, we've talked to our friends at Tough Products about it. We've talked to our friends at CrossFit Holsters about it. We talked to them about doing promos and ads and stuff. No more naked guns. Stop taking guns and just dropping them in your pockets. Well, I don't know why I need a holster. I have pockets. Yeah, that's it exactly. And it keeps happening. And people who should know better, like people that have badges and polyester uniforms and went to the police academy, should know better. But apparently they don't. And the topic of the day, the main topic of the day, is one that we've talked about previously ad nauseum, and yet it still keeps happening. I go back to a quote, and says this is a loose quote from George Patton, General George Patton. And he said he was talking to his officers and he was talking about the way the world is. And he said, when society fails to punish criminal behavior, when they fail to punish criminals, criminals will punish society. It's nature. And what we have in the United States of America today is we have tolerated criminal behavior because, well, we don't tolerate it. We have laws, Paul. Oh, do we? We have laws. And we have courts and prisons and police officers. Oh, we do? Oh, okay. So that's why there are no criminals on the streets of America today, because we have courts and prisons and police officers, right? Well, yeah, okay. We have a SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week question, and this person who's about to become the Warrior of the Week did not know that. I pulled this out of the Liberty Mastermind group. If you're a member of the grad program, that is the Student of the Gun grad program. It's the in crowd or the bonus crowd or whatever you want to call it. And we have this little thing called the Liberty Mastermind private group on Facebook. This question was asked, and I'm going to go ahead and address it because it's been kind of sitting like a burr under my saddle for a few days. So I thought, what the heck? I'll use this as an opportunity. Now, before I do that, and before we play the Warrior of the Week intro music, I want to turn the microphones over to Zachary and Jared. And this is your opportunity, freak boys, to say whatever it is you think needs to be said or you want to say or whatever.
Well, I do want to pick it up and kind of dovetail off of what you just said. Grad program members have I just saw like hands in the air, but that was on a different video. So I'm going to go back to what I was saying. I want to dovetail off of what you said, and the grad program members get access to the Liberty Mastermind. And the way that they do that is by going to getsotg.com. And we actually last week we just released a book promo. So you get, when you sign up as a new member, This is only available for new members. You get a free copy of the 5 Strategies book, and that's five strategies that could save your life. Tips from a professional bodyguard. Professor Paul wrote that as a gift to new members. So go to getsotg.com. There's a little video there from Dad. You can watch it. It takes, I don't know, a couple minutes. And then there's a bunch more information on there for you. So go to getsotg.com.
That's right. Getsotg.com. Zachary, it's your turn.
And sorry, something that we haven't talked about lately, but we've been doing the whole time, is we've had the official Student of the Gun newsletter that is open to everybody, and we encourage everybody for free. All you got to do is go and sign up. Jared, where do they sign up to get the newsletter? The free newsletter? Studentofthegun.com.
That's hard. Studentofthegun.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go there, sign up for the newsletter. If I remember correctly, Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, at the top of the bar at the top, there's a button that says newsletter.
Maybe.
Well, no. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that you would remember exactly how it went.
Maybe.
I do things and then I forget about those things because I push that out of my brain and move forward.
Well, there you go.
You just go to studentofthegun.com. You can sign up for the newsletter. .com. If you want to become a new member, get the book. And you just want to go right into the Warrior of the Week.
Yeah, you can, unless Zach has something else to say.
I'm not seeing where to sign up, dude.
Okay. Go to studentofthegun.com and you can sign up for the newsletter. If you want to be a grad program member, go to Get SOTG. Now, if you are the Warrior of the Week and we do choose your question, just email info@studentofthegun.com. Include your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and your email typed into the body, please.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and read this question as soon as I pull it back up again because it disappeared. All right, while we're doing that, I'm going to ask you guys something. Could you go ahead? I can only take so much. My blood pressure can only take so much stupidity. And you guys are wonderful, and you send these messages, and you're like, "Hey, did you see? Hey, did you see?" And sometimes I reach a saturation level where I just can't take it anymore. I've got the question here, and it's from Daniel Farnsworth, and he was in the Liberty Mastermind group on Facebook. That's for grad program members. It's a private group. It said, yesterday's topic on body armor brought up a point that I believe merits further discussion. Private companies that contract various product lines exclusively to the military and LEO agencies. As citizen or as private citizens, boycott them all? ? Then he goes in to say AM General won't sell you an M1151A1 or whatever and so forth. Should we boycott them? Right, you can't draw a moral equivalent to, you say, well, I went to Abrams and they wouldn't sell, they wouldn't sell me, who is it that makes the Abrams tank? General Dynamics. I went to General Dynamics and I offered them $30 million cash and they wouldn't sell me an M1 Abrams tank because they said I wasn't allowed. We're talking about body armor here. I'm talking specifically armor and helmets and plates and so forth. Now, what happened, the setup for this is last week, I give little hints and reminders to the grad program people all the time. And generally, I use the Liberty Mastermind group to do it because it's an easy delivery system. And I said, before you go out and buy another gun, before you go spend money and buy another gun, instead of buying another gun, you should buy armor, right? Go out and buy armor. Yeah, it's funny is people will see, armor and it'll be $499 or $599 or whatever. And they'll say, oh, I'm not spending all that. I'm not going to spend that kind of money. And then they'll go drop the same exact amount of cash or more. People who won't buy armor because it's $499. I'm not spending that kind of money. Okay. but they'll go out and they'll buy one of those tricked out Gucci Glocks for $2,000. The Glocks with the titanium slides and barrels and firing pins and cutouts and stippling and all this ridiculous nonsense that you really don't need. They have no problem dropping $1,900 on a Gucci Glock. And I say, go out and buy some armor. And they're like, it's so expensive. Okay. Live your life like you want to. But I made that comment in the Liberty Mastermind group, and somebody said, well, where can we get it? Somebody dropped in a link to a company called TAC Pro Gear. And the only reason I've given them a free plug is because I'm about to slam the door in their faces. First of all, TAC Pro Gear stole the British Dragon and the TAC Pro from Bill Davidson at TAC Pro Shooting Center in Texas. And they had the audacity. Check this out, Jared. Did you know this? These suckers had the audacity to, after coming along way after Bill Davidson started his school in Texas called TAC Pro Shooting Center. This company comes along, this gear company comes along. I think they're in Florida. They send him a letter telling him to stop using that name. Are you shocked? Are you taken aback?
It's interesting.
Yeah. So, but anyway, somebody sends this link. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go and see what their prices are and so forth. I go in there and I find out that all of their actual armor, whether it's helmets or plates or software, whatever it says, private security, LE, and military sales only. And if you try and order it online, if you go to their website, you have to click a thing to get, you cannot order directly. You have to go through a salesman. You have to say, have a salesman contact me, right? And so I went in and I told the people in the Liberty Mastermind group, like, look, thanks for playing, but fornicate these guys. And I made the comment basically that only the lives of His Majesty's troops are worth protecting and saving. The rest of you peasants can just suck it and die, right? So that is the reason for Farnsworth's question. He was like, well, what should we do? Should I boycott GM because they won't sell me an AMRAP or whatever, or boycott General Dynamics because they won't sell me an Abrams tank? It's not really the same thing. We're talking about individual equipment. And yes, what I would do, if you feel like you got the time on your hands and you encounter one of these companies that says, this armor, this is military and LE sales only. And you say, well, what are we supposed to do? Okay, what would you do? What would you think of a company that decided that all of their semi-automatic guns, their rifles and pistols and everything that's semi-auto and magazine fed, that they changed their company policy to only LE and military sales? Now, you citizens, you can still buy our single shot, our bolt action, and our pump action or slide action guns. You can buy those, but let's just say that Smith did that. Smith comes out tomorrow with a new policy, corporate policy, that says all of their M&P 9s and all their M&P 15s have just become military and LE sales only. But
Hey, can you hear me?
They'll sell you a revolver. Yeah, I can hear you.
You're super quiet, so we're gonna have to cut for a second.
I don't know what's going on. My mouth is right up against the microphone.
And I haven't touched the slider.
No, it's something happened with the internet audio thing
with the feed.
It like compressed you a lot.
Huh.
Well, ain't that some bullshit?
Hey, Zach, will you
Yeah.
do we're still live. I don't know, can people on the other end, can you hear Dad okay, or is it just my headphones or something?
Ryan Barker said yes, their sound took a nosedive.
Their sound took a nosedive. Okay, so what the hell?
We're hardwired directly in.
To self-destruct.
Exactly.
Change your quality down to no video and see what happens, Zach.
No video? Okay. How's that? Hello?
Nope. Still horrible. Exit and come back in.
Okay.
Well, there we go. We have that. Find out where he actually left off.
Had decided that all.
Man, that was crazy.
And you say, well, what are we supposed to do? Okay.
How about now?
What would you do? What would you think of a company, military and elite sales only?
Are you back?
Yes, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Dude, that's crazy. You're like, it's not working for whatever reason.
All right, go ahead. Hello. I just got real. What the hell is going on?
Oh, there it is.
Turn up your slider and then turn down your headphones.
Okay, well, you turned them down way too far. Now I can hear nothing.
Okay.
What did you do, Zach?
Jared, Dad, keep talking.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's good.
Okay. I
Yep.
jacked up his slider all the way to the top and then turned down our headphones.
That's interesting. So it was like compressing you down, and then when he broke the level, it came back. That's interesting. I don't know why it did that.
Fuck. Where do we have to go back and start?
Zach, can you turn his knob down?
What do you mean by that?
Turn his slider down. It's up too high.
Didn't a half second ago you just say that's perfect? That's better?
No.
Yep.
All right, and turn my headphones down a little bit, or turn the slider or something.
Okay.
Slide it down. All right.
Going down. I'm going to stop.
All right. No. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Up.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Come and take it. United States Marine Corps. SWAT fuel. SWAT fuel.
You
SWAT
say
fuel.
right there?
Yes.
Okay.
Buy now, pay later.
Go down 2 decibels.
Down 2. Up 1, down 2, over 3.
How's that?
What is he at?
1 millimeter above 0.
1 millimeter above
It
0.
doesn't have individual numbers. It's 60, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Power gap 0, power gap 10.
Yeah, so he's at 0.
He's just a
Yeah.
little above 0.
Okay, take him down about, let's see, take him down to in
So put
between
him back to where he was.
the gap that's underneath 0. Put him in the middle of that.
How's this? Dad, talk, please.
1, 2, 3, 2,
Yep.
1, 2, 1,
That's
2,
good.
1, 2. That's it.
Yep. Okay, now I'm going to play this.
Military and elite sales only. And you say, well, what are we supposed to do?
Okay, so I'm going to stop it after you say military and LE sales only. And then what you were picking up with was, well, what are we supposed to do?
Okay. This is military and elite sales only.
Okay, up there. All right, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting in 3, 2.
All right, I've got an example for you, and this is be super easy to track. All right, forget about the armor. Forget about the no armor sales to citizens and peasants and so forth. Let's say that, and you can buy soft gear from them. You can buy plate carriers and bags and stuff. Just nothing that'll stop a bullet from getting into you. So let's say Smith & Wesson on September 1st comes out with a new mission statement, a new memorandum, what have you, that says that all of their M&P 9 and M&P 15 guns will no longer be available for sales to civilians. Nothing that takes a detachable magazine and is semi-auto will be sold to anything other than police and military. But Smith & Wesson says, oh, but it's cool because we have tons of revolvers, and we have some bolt guns, and we have these things over here that we'll sell to anybody. Citizens, peasants, tax slaves, you guys can all buy our revolvers. But when it comes to the M&P 9 series and M&P 15 series and all that, that's going to be from this point forward police and military sales only. Say that they did that. What would you think about Smith & Wesson? Would you say, well, it's Smith & Wesson's right as a private company, and, they do have police contracts for pistols and rifles, so I can understand them restricting the sales of things that they sell to police officers. I can understand them restricting the sales to just mere citizens. And I'm going to go ahead and support Smith & Wesson, and I'm going to keep buying their revolvers. Is there any person in the audience today that would take that tact? Well, no, you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. I've been playing this game. I've been paying attention for 30 plus years now to the American gun buying public and the gun culture. If Smith & Wesson were to come out tomorrow and say no more semi-auto magazine fed sales to peasants, you can buy our other kind of guns, their stock would be in the toilet like faster than a Democrat vote. Okay. They wouldn't do it because they know the backlash would be horrendous. Smith & Wesson as a company was almost killed in the 1990s when they sat down with the Clinton administration and cut a deal. And for years and years and years, but there are American gun buyers today that are my age that still won't buy a Smith product. So if you would not support Smith & Wesson after that kind of a move, and many of you didn't support them after they cut the deal with the devil in the 1990s with the Clinton administration, why is it that you would still shop at a company that restricts armor sales to alien military only? You wouldn't tolerate it from a gun company, would you? Like, no, not for a hot second would I tolerate that from a gun company. And I would tell all my friends not to shop there. And why would you tolerate it from a company that sells armor or helmets or whatever? When is the last time? Okay, I know it was 1997 and the North Hollywood bank robbery. I was gonna say, when is the last time that an active felon wore a ballistic helmet to commit? It was I think it was 97. So 21 years ago. The whole thing is like, well, what if it ends up in the wrong hands? What if the armor ends up in the wrong hands? Wouldn't that be terrible? What if the guns end up in the wrong hands? And see, here's the thing, Jared, that is the exact same argument. The reasonable people on our side they're like, well, I can see certain companies saying, hey, no armor sales to peasants, because what if it ends up in the wrong hands? I can see that. That is the exact same argument that Nanny Bloomberg and his favorite call girl use to try and get guns out of your hands. That is the exact same argument that Schumer and Feinstein and Pelosi and you keep going, the rogues gallery of idiots. That's the same argument that they have for new gun restrictions. Well, we got to cut this off. What if it gets into the wrong hands? In order to protect the innocent, or we have to punish the innocent for the sins of the guilty. Would you tolerate that from a gun company? Would you tolerate that? Would you buy that argument from Schumer or Pelosi or, Shannon, the sandwich maker? If Shannon says we need greater restrictions on assault weapons and semi-automatic weapons because they could fall into the hands of the wrong people, do you nod your head and say, Shannon's got a point there? No, you don't, right? Then why do you think that a company that refuses to sell you armor has a point? It's the same thing. So, yeah, the answer is if you find out a company is making, armor products, but they're restricting them to His Majesty's troops only because only the lives of those who work for the government should be saved. And essentially, is that not what they're saying? They say, well, if you work for the state, your life is worth protecting because you're more important than peasants. The life of those who work for the state is more important than the citizenry or the peasantry and, the tax class. Who cares if the tax people, the tax slaves, who cares if they get shot and killed? We just get more of them. But His Majesty's troops, now those lives are valuable. Isn't the life of your father, brother, uncle, mother, sister, wife, isn't their life as valuable as that of somebody who works for the state? Or the person who works for the state, their life is more valuable than yours because you're just a peasant? Answer the question for yourself. All right, Zachary, it is Monday. It is a brand new week here at Student of the Gun. So,
Both of those statements are correct.
what is the product of the week and what discount do they get?
Yep. This week it is the force options. Let's see what the full force options. How to defend yourself without a weapon online course is the product of the week this week, and it is 15% off.
There you go.
Some very
Go
valuable
and
information.
Take advantage of that. Do it.
Yeah, not every fight is a gunfight, so it's best to be prepared for all situations.
Yes, sir.
And a discount.
So you're welcome. All right, Crossbreed holsters. They make the most comfortable inside of the waistband holster you're ever going to wear. I'm wearing one right now, sitting in my studio chair.
Ditto.
And I am an armed citizen wearing a Crossbreed holster. You could be an armed citizen, and you can support them by going to crossbreedholsters.com. Frog Lube, it's green, it's minty fresh. It is a bio-based firearms lubricant. The company is U.S. veteran owned. It's made in the USA, and it's extreme. And it works. Extreme. Check those guys out at froglube.com. Century Arms, the sweetest smelling arms maker in the U.S. of A. And if you have not checked out our socialist media lately, our Facebook or Instagram, or you're missing something, because I've been out at the range with the NAC 9, and it's all dressed up and ready to go. And by the time you hear this, by the time these words drip ever so gently into your ear holes, I can predict that gun will have been Duracoated. Yes. My Duracoat package arrived, and I am going to Duracoat the NAC 9 and make everything. Because here's what I did. As you guys probably know, if you're paying attention, I added a whole bunch of parts to the gun. And most of the parts are a similar color, but they're not even close to being 100% identical. So I'm going to finish it up. I'm going to Duracoat it, and we'll be putting pictures up on our socialist media real soon. Now, before we go on and talk about our friends at Brownells, Zach, remind the audience about the new Duracoat contest.
Oh, yes. That's right. We got
How could you forget?
Yeah, how could I forget? Because I was working on notes. Yes, the Duracoat #SexyCan contest. This is something that we are doing in conjunction with Duracoat, obviously, and it's pretty simple. What we want you to do is we want you to go out and get some of the fine Duracoat products. Take one of your old rusty,
Didn't even have to be rusty. It could be a steel ammo can.
A normal, boring, plain steel ammo can. Duracoat it up, design it, mix it up, and make it look sexy.
Put flowers on it, or
put
multiple color. We don't care. Go crazy.
Yeah.
Lose your mind.
Then what we want you to do then is post pictures of it on your favorite social media or all the social medias. We don't care. With the #SexyCanChat contest and the names of the Duracoat products that you used. And if your can is chosen, you will win one of 3 prizes. You will win either a $100 gift certificate to the Duracoat website, a $50 gift certificate, or a bunch of free Duracoat swag.
There you go.
And we're running this from now until the end of August, which then
we'll be judging Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
2018.
Yep.
So you have plenty of time. And the reason I did that before, and you go to DuracoatFirearmFinishes.com. So DuracoatFirearmFinishes.com.
Yeah.
Brownells, let's say you're sitting there at home and you think, all I got is these cheap, crappy plastic ammo cans. Should I do those? No. I mean, you can, but here's the deal. If you put the Duracoat onto a cheap, crappy plastic ammo can, those light green, crappy ones that you bought at Academy Outdoors, it's not going to look that good, and it's not going to last. You need a steel ammo can. You know who has them? Brownells does. Go to brownells.com today. Pick yourself up a steel ammo can full of ammo. Have them ship it to you. Use the free promo or the free shipping promo code. And then you will have a can to Duracoat for the Sexy Can contest. We're looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, unless Zach has anything else to say, you good, Zach? Affirmative?
Nah, I was just going to say, hashtag Sexy Can contest.
All right, there we go. We're going to start off with our, we're going to continue with our quiet time. And quiet time is brought to you by silencershop.com.
I spy a black pickup truck. Oh, come on. How about something a little easier? Okay, I spy error-free forms, fast ATF processing, a 90-day money-back guarantee, and the largest inventory in the industry. I spy Powered By. That's right. With over 300 Powered By Silencer Shop retailers nationwide, there's always one close by. Is that easy enough for you? Ha! Almost too easy. Demand Powered By. Shop our industry-leading inventory at silencershop.com.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, quiet time. This week, we're going to go back and talk about the USMC leadership traits. We're going to re-examine those. Now, Zachary, the shipping ogre and our store manager, he went ahead and created a high quality, and it's almost cardstock quality poster for you guys. It has the United States Marine Corps leadership traits, all 14 of them spelled out in a poster. You can put it up in your office or your den or your training workout area or what have you. That's where mine is. But we want to talk about these because as we prepare for the unknown, whether it's a civil disturbance or it's a natural disaster or some kind of a crisis, or whether it's a personal crisis, a family crisis, a community crisis, a state or a nationwide crisis, we want to be prepared. And so what do? I know that all my responsible listeners have the stuff. You have the checklist with the freeze-dried food and the MREs and the batteries and the chem lights and all that stuff that you have just in case the lights go out, or just in case you're snowed in, or just in case there's a hurricane, what have you. That's fantastic. And I want you to have that stuff. But here's what you can't buy in a store. You can't go to Amazon and order this and have it shipped to you and put it in a cupboard. Leadership. You're still, whether or not, and it doesn't matter what the trigger is, it doesn't matter what the catalyst is, whether it's a man-made disaster or natural disaster or what have you. The fact of the matter is during any kind of situation that's abnormal, there you have a common element, and that's humans. And humans need leadership. And more often than not, if you're the guy or girl or family who is the preparedness family, you have a generator, you have water, and everybody knows you have this and that. You're the person that, takes care of yourself. They're not just going to look to you and say, "Hey man, can you spare me an MRE?" They're going to look to you for leadership. Now you might say, "Hey, I never signed up for this. I didn't sign up to be a leader. I didn't sign up to be someone's leader. Me and my family, we got our stuff and we're going to be good to go." It doesn't matter whether you signed up for it or not. Chances are really high, especially if you're part of my listening audience, you're a little bit farther ahead of the curve than most people, that it's going to fall on you. And you can say, "Well, I just don't care. It's not my problem. You people go somewhere else and figure out your own problems." That's great, but if you don't lead them, if people want to be led and you're not there to lead them, someone else is going to lead them. And they may not be leading them in the direction that is a good direction or a positive direction. If you have the opportunity to lead your community members and your family and, you know, your neighbors in a positive direction, and you decide not to do it, they're going to find a leader, but the person who leads them may not be leading them into a good direction. And then you're going to have to deal with that problem. You know, if you default from a completely practical standpoint, let's say that you and your family, you know, and your next door neighbor, you were the preparedness people, but everybody else on the block wasn't. They all thought you were stupid and paranoid and kooky, and, you know, the government will take care of us and blah, blah, blah. So something happens. Like I said, hurricane, flood, you know, natural disaster, man-made disaster. And after a couple of days of being hungry, you know, they come to you and you're like, hey, man, sorry, can't help you. Go away. They might find a leader, and that leader might tell them, you know what? Let's go to that dude's house. That dude's hoarding. He's been unfairly hoarding food and energy and gasoline and stuff. So let's go there and take their stuff from them. You said, and you're like, oh, see where Paul's headed now. Yeah. Now, in the Patriot Fire Team Manual, there's an entire chapter dedicated to leadership and to the United States Marine Corps leadership traits. On the Morning Mindset podcast, I did 14 individual episodes, one leadership trait per day. And you can go to morningmindsetpodcast.com. And if you haven't already, and pick up where you left off or pick up brand new. But this is, you know, we're talking about quiet time. We're talking about reflective moments, about learning, expanding our brains, and so on and so forth. And I really believe it's time to re-examine the leadership traits and consider that, because you can't, you know, it's not something that you can buy freeze dried and stick in your cupboard. And you can't just make it up on the spot. You probably want to give it a little bit of thought before the time arrives. Does that work for you guys? Jared, Zachary, does it work for you guys?
Yes.
That works for me.
Well, two things. Number one, if you go to Student of the Gun Gear, you can order that poster that Zachary put together for you. It's under the accessories. If you go to accessories.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure where to put that.
Yeah.
Like what category to put it under.
But if you put it under the accessories category, it's there.
Yeah.
Right,
Maybe we can do one for posters.
I believe it's also in featured products.
It's also right next to the Student of the Gun, the official Student of the Gun coffee mug.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, why don't we do this? We're recording this before it airs, obviously. So you guys live right now are not going to be able to access this page. But Zach, why don't we put all of the leadership episodes from Morning Mindset at studentofthegun.com/leadership, so they can get all of the episodes on that page, and then also have a link to the poster.
That's cool.
That's a pretty good idea.
By the time this airs, we need to have that done, which it'll only take like less than an hour.
Yeah,
so
I can do that. Well, we got like almost a week to do it. So
okay. Also, the Morning Mindset books. No, I'm sorry, not the Morning Mindset books. The Patriot Fire Team manuals. The autograph copies we have in stock. Zach, have you updated the stock lately
of
the Morning Mindset manuals?
Yes.
It says only 2 left in stock, and it seems to me that we should have more than that. But
where?
On studentofthegungear.com.
I just checked it. Remember, like I checked it like half an hour ago, and it said 15. I'm gonna have to check that.
Not Morning Mindset books, Zach. Manuals. Patriot Fire Team manuals.
You said Morning Mindset manual.
Shh. I corrected myself.
Yeah.
Listen louder.
Okay, so then
I listen louder. Patriot Fire Team manual.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
I will now go update that.
See, that's communications, folks. That's the sender, receiver, and the message. And there was if you have an error in any of those, one of those 3 categories, and in this case, it was the receiver where there was the error. So the message was good, and the sender was good, but the receiver was messed up. All right, let's move on. Let's let Alex talk a little bit, and then we'll get to the main topic of the day.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
Okay, I've got a story here from valleynewslive.com. valleynewslive.com. This is an NBC station. And it says, update. Court documents reveal suspects disturbing past Otter Tail County kidnapping. So what happened? Well, in the middle of the day, a recently released felon, walked into the home of a woman. And I'll go ahead and this is Dateline Fergus Falls, Minnesota, July 23rd, 2018. And the update is July 24th, 2018.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Why are there periods between the M and the N? M and the N? I've never seen.
I have no idea. It's not two words. It's not Min space
Minnesota.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
okay. I was just confused.
No, it's jacked up. They're jacked up. They have no editors. Okay. Today we wanted to know why 39-year-old Anthony Randclev of Pelican Rapids was released early from jail last month. When we met with the Otter Tail County officers this afternoon, they pointed to the Department of Corrections. The cops were like, we don't know. We don't keep him in jail. Corrections said that Radlev, or is it Randlev? They spelled his name two different ways, was eligible to be released, and then he was released with no supervision from prison. Well, why was he in prison, you might ask? You're like, what did this guy do to merit being in prison? Here we go. Court documents say that in 2007, police arrested Randclev after he kidnapped a woman, put a mask over her face, and brought her out to the woods saying he was going to saw on her. Or he was going to use a saw on her. Okay. He then tied her wrists and brought her to a house where he sexually assaulted her. Documents go on to say that here we go again. Are you reading along with the story? They keep changing the spelling of this dude's name, like every other sentence. You people at valleynewslive.com really need a copy editor. Documents say that Randlev told the woman that he had done this multiple times to multiple people before. So he later dropped the victim off at her hold and told her life was in her own hands. He was captured, convicted, and sentenced to 16 years in prison. Now, Jared, let's say that he actually went to trial in the year 2007. Now, we know, thank you, it usually takes a while for people to go to trial, don't we? Before they go to trial and they get convicted and all that. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it was still the year 2007 when this guy who kidnapped and sexually assaulted a woman, when he got a 16-year prison sentence. Kidnapping and sexual assault, and you get 16 years, that doesn't seem like a lot to me. Am I crazy, or does that not seem like a lot? Zach?
Yes, it is.
You went to public
Prison.
school
Yes, I did.
for a while, and then you were homeschooled later.
Prison.
That as well.
Okay.
Oh,
Zachary?
Yes, I'm being a smart aleck.
Add 2007 and 16, and what do you get?
What?
Okay.
29.
23. Really?
Clearly, I didn't do very well.
Really? So, all right, the answer is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Randlev was supposed to be in prison until the year 2023. A dude gets captured after kidnapping and raping a woman, gets a 16-year prison sentence, does 11 of the 16, gets out, and within a month does it again. Ladies, and so, well, what did he do again? Well, on Sunday last, Radlev, whatever his name is, entered the home on whatever, blah, 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 in Fergus Falls, entered a home through an unlocked door with a firearm, forcibly took a woman from her home in his 2001 silver Chevy S10.
Oh, you're not. Whatever. Cut.
Is he gone?
No, he's not gone. Were you hearing that too, Jared?
Hearing what?
We're
was
getting
like a-
feedback. My voice is echoing back to me.
Like
Oh.
a watery reverb.
It's your internet connection. And there's a baby over here, so I can't unmute my mic very often.
Okay.
Is it still echoing over there for you?
No, it's not now.
Okay.
All right. Where did I end? Oh, I said S10 pickup truck. 2001 silver Chevy S10.
All right. You know,
No, I don't know where that board is.
okay, that's fine. Just grab a new one. Dad, do you know where you're going to pick up?
Yeah.
Like $5.
All right. In 3, 2.
Police say the victim's 4 children were at home with her at the time of the abduction. One of the children called their dad, who called 911. Radlev's truck was later found by a member of the blah, blah, blah fire department, blah, 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 blah. Tried to, Pelican Rapids police and Otter Tail deputies say they tried to make a traffic stop. He took off on a high-speed chase, eventually southbound. Tire deflation devices were used successfully. 10 miles later, drove into a field, yada, yada, got stuck, took him into custody. So we've got a woman at home in her house, middle of the day, with her kids. A recently released violent felon who should have still been in prison, right? We detailed that. Sentenced to 16 years in prison, 2007, shouldn't be out till 2023, gets out 5 years early, and within a month goes right out and does exactly what he had been convicted of doing previously. So we got a bunch of things at work here. Number one, how often are we told by Nanny Blueberg's favorite call girl and all the other members of the ruling class elite that you and I, our wives and our mothers and our family members, we don't need guns? Because why? Because there's 911. And you don't need guns because the police are there to protect you. And what are you, paranoid? You don't need that. And it's the job of the state to protect you and keep you safe from violent felons. So they find, arrest, capture, convict a violent psycho felon, right? This person should have, 100 years ago, they would have been taken out to a tree, put a rope around their neck. We'd have been done with this person. And we move on with our lives, use him as fertilizer. But we're so tolerant today. We're so kind and tolerant to rapists and felons and kidnappers and murderers that we just wash our hands of it, and we trust that the state will keep us safe because they promised. Matter of fact, not only did they promise to keep us safe, they told us that we're not even allowed to be responsible for our own safety. You shouldn't even have a gun. If you listen to the mayor of Toronto, there's no reason for a person to ever own a gun. So that's one thing. The state, once again, completely failed the citizenry. And I know what you guys are saying. Oh, this woman and her husband, their family, they should sue. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Are you pissed off yet, America? Do you understand that the state not only can't they? They won't stop. They won't keep these violent monsters out of your neighborhoods. They refuse to. Now, on the other hand, what do we hear constantly from parents and reasonable people? Well, you don't understand, Paul. I can't just have a gun around because I have kids. I have kids. I can't have a gun around in my house. This woman in Minnesota is one of the luckiest women on earth. Most of the time when women are taken away, they can do a secondary crime scene. They don't come away unscathed. She's extremely fortunate that this did not go way worse than it did. So there you are at home, and you're Mrs. Reasonable, you're Mr. Reasonable, and you're telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. You're just paranoid. You're one of those paranoid people that tries to get people to take training and carry guns. And you don't understand. Okay. So it's better for some psycho who the state just let out. Like, yeah, he's supposed to do 5 more years, but screw it. We're crowded. Let him out. Goes to your house, breaks in, sticks a gun in your face, kidnaps you. What are your 4 kids supposed to do while you're being drug off by a psycho? What happens when you don't come back from that kidnapping? Now your husband gets to sit your 4 kids down and say, you know, kids, we could have had a gun in the house to protect you and mommy and me from evil monsters that the state lets out of prison. But we'd listened to Nanny Bloomberg and his sandwich makers, and we decided that it was just too dangerous. What's more dangerous, you carrying a gun or the fact that our states, and this is just, you know, it's Minnesota, but everywhere you go, you find this. They just roll the felons out of the prison like it's cool, and they go right back to what they were doing before. What have we said multiple times? If you are a parent, mommy or daddy, and you're like, well, I can't just have a gun laying around the house. No, you can't. You shouldn't. It shouldn't be laying around. Buy a holster, a good holster, a quality holster, attach it to your body, put the gun in it, and that way you always know where the gun is all the time. And you always have control over that gun because it's attached to you. It's been, what, 2 years ago since that other violent psycho entered while the woman's children were sleeping, taking a nap upstairs, and just beat the ever-living hell out of her all over the house. And it was recorded on the nanny cam. We all got to see it. And
yeah, I remember that.
For years we've been saying, look, you put it on you, attach it to you. You'll never have to worry about, I don't know where it is. You never have to worry about, well, I don't know, you know, who's touching it or who can get at. It's attached to you. You always know where it is, and you always have control over it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to run upstairs to a finger safe in the master bedroom to try and get it.
I mean, you should have your phone on you already, so what shouldn't that be enough?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, just pull out your phone or maybe you could
kicking in the door,
you can install an app.
Yeah. As they're kicking in your door, pull out your phone, call 911. And they'll be there instantaneously.
Get one of those special security apps.
Yeah, I would say just download that app that says, stop, you are being recorded and I have notified the police or whatever.
Yep.
Wait, is that a thing?
Yep.
Oh, that's actually.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before. I think that was before you came on.
Oh.
So that was forever ago then.
Yeah. All right, that's all I have to say about that. And I think that brings us right up to the end, doesn't it?
Indeed it does. 47 minutes in.
All right. My advice to you is this. If you're a parent, get a comfortable holster, a good quality holster, attach it to your body, put the gun in it, secure the gun to your body. Then you can always control it, and it'll always be where you can find it. Crazy talk. I know, crazy talk. Or you could just rely on the state to keep you safe because they do a really, really good job. Yeah, they do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back on Wednesday. We're going to talk about the Canadian, the new Canadian model is to punish the innocent for the sins of the guilty. We'll see how that works out. Until next time, remember, you're a beginner once. You should indeed be
We
a
appreciate
student for life.
If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.
All right, we have to go like immediately because we
All
have
right,
to
go immediately.
appointment.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.